Good morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this. Welcome to Cheapo Recording Studio. Today, I want to talk about a question that seems to come up with everybody that's looking to get into music production, and that is, what equipment do I need to get started? First off, you don't need to spend a ton of money. You don't need to drop 5, 10, 15, $20,000 or more to get started. And depending on what you want to do, depends on what you need to buy. But to be honest with you, truthfully, what you need to start is nothing more than a computer and a DAW. You can write some music in MIDI using your mouse. You can play around doing stuff like that and learn the DAW first before you get into anything else. Now, if you're a musician and you play an instrument and you're wanting to record, or you're a singer and you want to record, then yes, you need a couple other things. You're going to need an interface, and you're going to need a microphone. But don't get carried away buying insanely expensive stuff to get started. My recommendation for interfaces is the Behringer. I like the UMC 1820, the 8 input. That's what I use. It gives you enough inputs to keep you going for a long time, and surprisingly, it rivals the audio quality of some of those super expensive interfaces. It's got dual headphone outputs, which is great, and it's got Midas preamps, so they're darn good preamps in it. Now, I know some people don't like Behringer because of some of their business practices, but let's face it, every manufacturer out there, every company does questionable things. It doesn't matter who it is. I have no problems with Behringer and some of their stuff. Some of their stuff, in my opinion, is garbage, but they keep the cost down, especially for us that are just getting started. As for microphones, the best bang for your buck right now, in my opinion, is a used Rode NTK. You can pick these things up on Reverb for between $300 and $500. I bought one about a year ago, and I was amazed at the sound quality of that microphone. I paid $300 for mine, and it rivals some of those $2,000-$3,000 microphones. It's great, and it'll get you by for a very, very long time as you build out your mic locker with other microphones that are better for other things. If you're into EDM music and you don't have to worry about recording instruments outside of your DAW, you're going to use strictly MIDI, the first thing you should pick up is a decent MIDI capable keyboard. I've got a MIDI controller, an Oxygen 49, that fits underneath my desk right in front of under my monitor. But I also have some other keyboards that are just regular keyboards with sound that will also work as MIDI controllers. And that might be an option if you can find something used. Look at some of the Casios. You know, Casio gets a bad name for being cheap toys, but they actually make some pretty decent keyboards, decent sounds, as long as they've got MIDI or USB on them that you can plug them into your computer. Of course, if they have MIDI, you're going to need some type of a MIDI interface. So look for the ones that have USB. That way you get a bunch of great sounds, but you also get the keyboard. I have a 49 key kind of the split between the little bitty ones and a full size keyboard. If I need a full size keyboard, I've got that in some of my other equipment. So the 49 key seems to work really nice mid range. I bought one of the little bitty keyboards that's 2 octaves, and if I was the type who carried my computer around and worked in the coffee shops or outside in a park, it would work. It's convenient, it's small, it's easy to carry. But quite honestly, I don't use it. It's too small for me. I like to be able to get both hands going on a keyboard, and sometimes even that 49 key isn't big enough for my uses. We're going to upgrade a computer, an older computer here very shortly. I'm going to show you how to do that and load up some software. We're going to be using Ubuntu Studio on that, simply because it works great, it works well on older hardware, and it comes with a great free DAW and some other equipment, other software that's darn nice to have in the studio. So don't run out and think you have to buy a new computer. The Apple M2 computers are all the rage right now, but you don't need to spend that kind of money. You don't even need a new Windows computer. Use what you've got. You can use an inexpensive pair of headphones to get started and then move up to something better down the road. Or if you've got a little money, buy a nice set of headphones. There's some good ones in there. For what you're doing sitting at the computer, buy open back. They tend to give a little better quality. And down the road, we'll talk about studio monitors, but you don't need to spend that money right now. What you need to do is get a DAW, get it running, and start learning how to use it. Half the battle with this getting started is to learn how to use your equipment. So that's what we're going to be working on here for a while. You have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time at Cheapo Recording Studio.